Hello and welcome to another of my competition build showcases. Today I will be showcasing my upgraded apple pie build. This one does utilize some NFTs, so after I show you how well it's performing, I'm going to explain what NFTs I am using that are impacting the production rates. Then I'm going to show you what every building is making, then show you what auto trade looks like, and then show you what it looks like on the visualizer. So I'll go ahead and get started. This one is doing 77.8 apple pies per hour. It has been running for a good almost 11 hours there, and I'll scroll through the production monitor here. I will point out the important items, and that is apples at 390 per hour, which I believe once again is the bottleneck. That's why it doesn't go over 78 apple pies per hour. We have butter at 88 per hour, which definitely is overproducing. So if you were to somehow implement some water NFTs into this and get yourself more space for apple trees, then you could definitely push the rates above the 77.8 apple pies per hour that it's doing. And cornstarch at 168 per hour, that's enough for about 84 apple trees. Then we have flour at 165 per hour, that would be enough for about 82.5 apple trees. You could balance the cornstarch and flour better, but I had no reason to actually do that since I don't even have that many apples to go past 80 per hour. So milk 182, salt 176, and sugar 87. That's what's influencing our high butter rate, but it's all good. You'll just auto sell butter, and it's just barely producing enough wood for everything. Keep that in mind. Of course, there are different ways to remedy that, either by having another tree farm or by having more of the Hatchet Hank Jr. NFTs to help you with your wood production. Now, before I go over more about the build and how it works, I do have to tell you which NFTs are actually impacting the production rate for this build. First of all, I am using a wheat stand. I am using the legendary wheat stand because that's all I have, but a regular wheat stand will work just fine. The regular wheat stand will provide 2 passive wheat to the nearby feed mills, allowing you to create feed this way, and 2 passive wheat to the windmill, allowing you to have 1 windmill that always has the wheat required to make flour. Now, if you have a rare wheat stand, you can place it right here, and this will allow you to still run 3 feed mills with the 2 passive wheat they need in order to craft feed, as well as have both this windmill and this windmill have 2 passive wheat in order to craft flour. If you have, say, an epic wheat stand or even the legendary one, then you can actually have it reach these windmills as well and have those have passive wheat as well to craft flour better. You could probably get by without any wheat fields if you happen to have an epic or legendary wheat stand. And the next NFT being used here is one Hatchet Hank Jr., or as it appears in the game, Junior's Cabin. This will reduce the craft time of the trees by, I believe, about 10%, and it'll also increase the movement speed of all the lumberjacks, which doesn't really help other than increasing the movement speed of the own lumberjack worker right here, but it does help with getting by with maybe 1 less tree farm than you would normally need. It's also convenient because it only casts 1 shade, so I can place it here and it won't cast any shade on, say, this windmill. I am utilizing a full set of Miranda skins, which would reduce the craft time of everything by 10% and increase the movement speed of everything by 25%, which is a significant bonus. And as for the effect cards, other than enchanted ornaments and fireworks, which are always applied, I can't remove those, but they don't impact the production rate. The following NFTs are being used here. So I'm using a legendary hasty windmill to increase the movement speed of the windmill workers, an ancient gilded barns to reduce the craft time of the milk in the milk barns, a legendary gusty wind to reduce the craft time on the windmills, and an ancient great woodlands to reduce the craft time of the tree farms. That's the only effect cards that are being used that would implement the production rate. And now I'm going to show you what every building is making in this build. Starting with the crops, we have a total of 36 apple trees on this one, and even then, apples are still the bottleneck. Then we have 10 tree farms, 2 sugarcane fields slightly farther away, but it still produces all the sugar that it needs to produce, 3 wheat fields builds. One is on a green craft timer right here, and the other 2 are on a red craft timer. 9 cornfields, 6 of them are on a red craft timer. Even though it appears yellow, it's actually a red craft timer. That's those 6 right there. 2 of them are on a yellow craft timer, this one having 2 shade, this one having 1 shade, and 1 of them are on a green craft timer. So they're kind of all over the place, but it gives me just the right amount of corn that I need. And there are 7 salt fields. All of them are on a green craft timer, or fastest craft timer, because they are right next to the ocean, so they're getting their 3 passive salty. For milk barns, 2 of them are over here gathering meadows for their feed, and the 2 over here are actually feasting off the feed on the trough that I have right here. So there is 1 trough, and there are 3 feed mills which have passive wheat because of the 1 wheat stand that I'm using, in this case a legendary wheat stand, but you can get by with a regular wheat stand. There are 5 cakeries making apple pies, 2 bakeries making butter. There are a total of 18 windmills, so 2 of them are making sugar, 3 of them are making salt, 6 of them are making flour. This one has the passive wheat, and then there's another one in this corner over here. Both of those are on a green craft timer. The other 4 are on a red craft timer. Those would be over here next to the passive gasoline setup. Then all the other 7 windmills are making cornstarch. 2 of them are on a green craft timer. That would be the ones on the north side, and then the other 5 right here in the center are on a red craft timer. As for the workers, we have 7 tractors kind of spread out all over the place, 4 logger houses, as well as a Hatchet Hank Jr. NFT, and we have 3 ATVs which are picking up milk from the milk barns, as well as picking up feed from the feed mills and taking it to the trough. For the storage, I have 2 silos, 3 storehouses, 1 lumber yard, but it's not required. You could remove it, replace it for something else, and of course the fuel storage. Now when I show you the visualizer, you're not going to be able to see the fuel storage because we are utilizing the subgrid placement here. And of course passive gasoline setup, that's the same. 2 water pumps, 2 power plants, refinery between them crafting gasoline, refinery to the side crafting petroleum. There's no passive crude oil here, so we're using oil pumps, where there's a total of 5 oil pumps in this design. And I forgot to mention, along with the workers, of course, we have the forklift that's in charge of picking up the crude oil and taking it to the fuel storage. And of course we have our trade depot over here on the north side, same spot. And just to mention these 2, which won't impact the production rate at all. Mayhem Oopsie gives us more cash per sale, and we have our shiny team trophy for the Dub Guild. That's just showing off right there. That doesn't actually do anything. Auto trade is exactly the same, 10 for all the crops, 12 for all the products, with the exception of apple pies. You want that at 10, and no, you're still not auto selling any gasoline, petroleum, or crude oil. Here's what it looks like on the visualizer. Total cost is 10.4 million cash. Wages are 13,500 per minute. Still cash positive, of course, and the wages and total cost is pretty much the same as the regular build. You can find a file for this on my Discord server. Link to my Discord servers in the description of the video. Well, that's all I have to show you, really. I mean, the only advice I can give you here is if you happen to have a passive water NFT, like a rare water tower, you implement that, you save yourself some pond space and add more apple trees, then sure, you could hit up to 83 apple pies per hour just based off the amount of other items that are being produced in this build, and that'll definitely help you out even further. So yes, this build is very competitive, and it does utilize some NFTs in order to actually be able to do that. So hopefully this gave you an idea on how you could have improved your build further with the use of different tweaks that were made to the regular design, as well as certain budget-friendly NFTs that were implemented. If you found this helpful or informative, feel free to leave a like, leave a comment, consider subscribing if you haven't done so, and if you ever want to help support the channel, you can check out the links in the description of the video. As always, I appreciate your support, and thank you for watching.